What's it you back again with another video? In today's video, man, I wanted to do something a little differently. I've been playing some other games. There's been a lot of shit happening over the last couple of days, and it's been a lot. I've been dealing with some toxic people in DayZ, causing some pretty large drama over there on the server. And then Call of Duty just hasn't really been fun recently, especially since I don't really have anyone to grind with. And so I started playing Destiny 2 again, man. I was hearing a lot of good things about this game over the last couple of months, saying how they've changed a lot of things, how they've updated a lot of things. And remember, the last time I played this game, the Witch Queen had just came out. The Witch Queen was new. The last time I played this game, like actually played it. So I was playing kind of catch up, right? I don't have Lightfall. I don't have the Witch Queen DLCs. I don't have any of the DLCs that are non-free, which I think actually Witch Queen might be free now, but I don't remember. But I don't have like Beyond Light or Lightfall or anything like that. And so without those DLCs, I've been experiencing the game in a way I don't think a lot of people can actually experience. Because a lot of times when you're playing Destiny, you kind of play the game with the DLCs, right? That's kind of like the point. And so I've been experiencing it for the first time again. First off, one of the biggest things I think I hate about the game is how they have erased a lot of the story to add more. So basically what I mean by that is the default campaign has been erased from the game. So unless you've beaten it, if you haven't beaten it, you never can beat it again, which I think is really dumb. And they've been doing this for other DLCs too. Like the Forsaken King, I think that actual storyline's gone. You can still get the gear and all that like normal, but you can't play the campaign. But I think its PvP side of things, its PvE side of things are really good. But this video's title, if you've probably already read, is This is Destiny 2 is the worst PvP game out there. And I think I mean that. I think. I could just be misunderstanding the game, but this is how I feel as someone who is trying to play it for the first time. Destiny 2's PvP is very complex in the sense of weapons. And I'm going to briefly go over what weapons mean in the game. So there's a thing called power level for anyone that doesn't play Destiny 2. Power levels are basically like the how much strength your gun has level. Like, for example, right now the highest you can be is 1810 for power. I'm sitting currently at 1759, I think, power. And you can progress this by playing PvE or playing PvP or paying straight up. Because if you pay for the DLCs, they basically give you all the guns for free. Now, the problem with PvP in Destiny 2 is they've leaned too heavily on certain categories of weaponry. Right now, when you're playing, it is nothing but hand cannons and like marksmans and snipers. Because they do the most damage. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, especially coming from a game like Call of Duty where, you know, your assault rifles, SMGs, and LMGs are really OP, while your pistols and snipers are kind of on the weaker side. And that's fine how they want to run it. But the problem is you don't get any good handguns as a free-to-play player. I've put about 15 hours in this game on PlayStation 5 within the last 2 days. And I've learned one thing, and that is you get a lot of really good PvE weapons, like some pulse rifles. I got a couple exotics. I just got done doing the quest today to get the Halo handgun. I forgot what they call it in Halo, but it's basically a handgun from Halo, and they're really good. But getting hand cannons is nearly impossible. With all the time I've spent, I've pretty much beaten all the main stories that are free. So I think you get a free mission for the first missions for Beyond Light, Lightfall, Forsaken, Witch Queen, pretty much all the main campaigns. If their missions, there's the third campaigns are still in there. You get the first mission for free. You can play the first mission. And so they all hooked me up with really good PvE weapons, but the problem I'm running into right now is there's no high power PvE weapons that translate over to PvP. And so the one or two guns that I think are probably going to be the better of the bunch for PvP are far too, if not unreachable, for a free-to-play player. And this turns into why I think this is the worst PvP game on the market right now. Destiny 2 is competing with some of the best shooters we've ever had in the history of shooters. We got Call of Duty, Battlefields, we got X-Defiant coming out soon, Titanfalls. You got obviously the battle royales out there with Apex Legends, Fortnite, and PUBG, H1Z1, and many other games that are multiplayer focused. And if there's one thing we've learned throughout the years is pay to win is a terrible gameplay strategy, and I feel like Destiny 2 is suffering from this right now. It's got a really good story. The Witness is probably one of the best written villains in pretty much any gaming genre out there. He's scary, he's powerful, and he's unknown, right? He is above the universe. So it's a very good story and a very good villain. Going back to games like Horizon Forbidden West, I fucking love that. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But one of its downsides, and arguably what makes people not like the game in a long run, is its villains weren't really villainy. We got a villainy villain at the end of Forbidden West, and people like that with the Entity. The Entity is basically this form of dark matter technology that was formed by the old humans, the ancients, and that's coming to pretty much wipe out existence as we know it. That is a good villain. The villains, which are the Zeniths, which we had basically the full campaign of Horizon, were weak. They weren't very scary. They were, whatever. Especially once you get the higher tier gear you had by the end of the game, they were almost non-existent. On the other side of things, Destiny 2 does a really good job. It doesn't give very much information about the Witness. When he is introduced, he is very ominous and frightening in a way. The first time I witnessed the Witness, the very first time I witnessed him, I immediately thought of, this guy is so badass, but yet is so scarily unknown. And so this constant battle between the Witness and the Traveler makes a very good campaign. It makes it more interesting. But then you go to the PvP side of things, where there's no villains, there's no story, it's just you and other players fighting. The problem pertains that if players who have been playing nonstop have an advantage over the normal players, which is not always necessarily a bad thing, right? Because you want to benefit the people who have been playing continuously, right? Call of Duty does the same thing. Call of Duty, gives players that stay for a long time limited edition items or whatever it may be, right? But the problem with Destiny 2 is not limited edition items, it's limited edition power levels. So someone who, say, they max power for every season is going to have weapons that do an ungodly amount of damage compared to someone like me, right? My guns are only doing a couple thousand damage on a character, while these guys can basically two-tap you to one-shot you, depending on the weapon they're using. And so that hinders the ability for new players to get into it. And I think the biggest problem right now in the game is there is no skill-based matchmaking or there's too much. Same problem with COD, right? Because I can't really tell in this game if the skill-based matchmaking is doing it on purpose, like COD does, where it puts you on purpose against cheaters or people who are trash, who just camp and the high KDs, whatever that may be. Or if the game is genuinely just it doesn't have enough skill-based matchmaking to where you're getting into lobbies where it's based off your power level or something. So that's that half of things. Then there's another half of PvP. This is where I think the game could do some improvements. I've been playing game modes like Mayhem, which are basically the bonus modes you get on COD that have increased score limits or increased speed of earning things. So Mayhem is basically for your ult abilities and your high abilities. So for me right now, you're seeing the gameplay. I have the fire cannon, I think I have the void arrows or whatever it is. So things like that, right? Your main abilities, your special abilities are supercharged. And so there's so many abilities to choose from, but there's not really a good way of explaining. So in the past, pre pre-Red War, so around the Red War, before they removed that, the main actual story for the game that you purchased when you bought the game for that campaign. Before that was removed, there was the ways you got the abilities kind of made sense, right? You would go through a quest line, you earn the ability, and they explain your ability, kind of give you a better understanding of it, and so on. So there is a couple new abilities. I think they call one of them the Strand. It's basically like this green kinetic, like, and mist, dark matter type shit that basically lets you do crazy things like, wall climbing and stuff. And when you earn it, which you don't really earn it unless I'm paying for the DLC, as far as I know, it doesn't really explain anything to you. Unless I'm missing something, it doesn't explain anything to you. It just gives you a bunch of enemies, tells you to hit these buttons, and that's it. And so in multiplayer, what happens is people are just spamming these alts, these special abilities, and they're spamming them everywhere. And it becomes just whoever can get access to their ability first. Which would be fine if the abilities were overpowered. I mean, there's been times where, the devoid tornadoes, or whatever the fuck they want to call them, will literally just stay in they can stream in your spawn and they'll last for like 5 minutes straight. And it's just insta-death, constantly, over and over and over again. So with that being said, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say. I will say that I've been having some insane amount of fun on Destiny 2, and I do have plans to do streams on Destiny 2 this weekend coming up, as well as some Call of Duty and DayZ stuff. I'll probably be taking a break from DayZ soon. I'm just making sure everything's good with my crew that's over there, because your boy's been playing a little too much DayZ, and I need to regroup and recenter myself in my goals. Also wanted to note before we end the video that Friday I'll be 21 tomorrow on Friday. So my birthday's on Friday, so no content on Friday as of yet. I'll be busy, and probably Saturday I'll also be busy, but I'll try to get some content out after I'm back. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think of Destiny 2. Do you play it? Do you not play it? Have you ever played it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Explain to me down below. If you have any tips of guns or gear sets that would be really great to grind for that are for free-to-play players. I don't know if I'm going to invest in the DLCs quite yet. Just they're really expensive for the most part, which makes them very not worth getting, in my opinion. I might venture into getting Lightfall or maybe Beyond Light. I don't know. I think Beyond Light's only like $10, so maybe that one, because Lightfall I think still 40 something bucks. So yeah, any tips, anything like that, let me know down below. If you have anything you want to discuss, anything with Call of Duty, or you want to ask questions about our server that we own, which is Resurgence, it's on DayZ, you can let me know down below. And without further ado, man, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, man. You already know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.